Hey folks, welcome back to Girl Talk. You may not recognize the look of this particular set. We are filming here at Center for Families, and we're in the respite center that has been newly remodeled by Bella Domicile and some other wonderful folks who have donated their time generously, and we're going to talk to them later. Bella is here as well as Center for Families, so we're going to interview them a little bit later. Right now you do have a familiar face. You recognize Miss Laura, and she is joining us from the Ironstone Nest, and
Hi.
we're so pleased to have you.
Good morning.
It's nice to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
So we're going to talk a little bit about restoration versus refinishing.
Yep, some big differences.
Yes, and then we'll talk in a minute about vintage versus antiques.
Yes.
But let's start with restoration versus refinishing, because I think this is kind of an interesting topic right now. Tell us the difference between the two. You're the master of this category.
Yeah, well, a lot of people put it on their business cards that they're furniture restorers, and unfortunately they probably just paint furniture. A true furniture restore and restoration refers to maintaining the integrity, the value, and the aesthetic of the piece. So actually you want to do very minimal work to get it to look the way that it should. You know, some art pieces have been restored, like Michelangelo or some of the great painters of our day. When they're restored, they do very, very little to change the look of it. So restoration is not actually painting a piece or stripping and restain. No, actually that damages the value and the aesthetic.
Interesting.
Right. So restoration refers to maintaining integrity, value, and aesthetic of the piece. So you want to do very, very minimal restoration.
Which makes sense. You want to keep it as it was.
Right. Yes.
And bring it back to its like original glory, basically.
Exactly. And refinishing refers to if I have a water damaged top and I want to sand it down and refinish that piece, restain it, and I'm not going to take away any value of it. I'm actually going to add value to it by giving it a new life.
So refinishing could be like you change the color or you change the finish altogether.
Right, and some pieces that need to be refinished are ones that have like chipping veneer, a lot of water damage, damaged drawers, those sorts of things. Those are the ones, yes, those are the ones that you want that are refinished. But restoration is best for true antiques.
Okay.
So that's how you kind of know the difference and decide whether you should restore a piece or refinish it. Because I'm sure that's a question a lot of folks have, is they're not quite sure what to do with a new piece.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. So try to find an expert, us, or an antique store or something nearby that can help you determine the true value of it and if you should restore it or refinish it.
It's so good to know. I feel like you've just shed a lot of light in a short time on these big differences.
It is a big difference. There is a big difference between the two words, and I think a lot of people don't know that.
And you do this every day, so this is something that you look at a piece and just know what to do. I am not. I don't have that brain. So these are perfect questions. Yeah.
I was just thinking about these two pieces that I did a long time ago, and they were both wooden, and I mean, they weren't antiques, but I didn't find out their value at all before I just got my hands on it.
Them, didn't you? I'm waiting for her to say that.
I just did whatever. But what about those wood lovers that freak out? They're like, wait, don't paint that, don't do that.
Right,
what are
and
you doing?
there are a lot of people that are like that, and that's fine. If you think it should be maintained, that's great. But I always tell people, you are the one that has to live with it.
Right.
So if brown furniture, which is what we call it in the furniture business, we just call it brown furniture. If that's not your look, then go ahead and make it yours.
Make it blue.
Yeah, exactly. Make it blue, make it whatever you want, but
you.
you have to live with it. So if there's a lot of water damage, or if it's sentimental to you.
The calls are already coming in, Laura. It's working.
So if you want to, keep it, it's sentimental to you, then go ahead and make it your own. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with that.
Really quick before we go, I want to make sure we talk about the difference between antique versus vintage.
There's
we may
a
have to
huge
get back
difference.
to this on another show.
So antiques is anything that's over 100 years old. So from 1915 and earlier. Wow. Vintage refers to anything that's over 50 years old, but less than 100 years old. So anything pre-1965. But younger than 1915.
I didn't realize there was like a hard cutoff on that, but that's again
well,
really
U.S. Customs actually has that information on their website, and that really drives that point home. So anything younger than 1965 is actually retro.
Oh. interesting. I have a feeling there's a lot more on this topic.
Yes.
So this is an interesting one.
Yes, so we can touch on that again.
We'll check back with that one. This is Miss Laura Diston from the Ironstone Nest over in Sun Prairie. Fabulous store. Please go see her. She's just wonderful.
Great to talk to you.
And yeah, thanks so much. And we'll be back. We are still filming here at Center for Families. We've got lots more coming up after the break. Stick around.